So the rules of the game is a general concept that is actually, you can find it also in Buddhism and also in Kabbalah and yoga philosophy. And it's a concept that basically says something simple. This reality operates by a certain principles, which I call them the rules of the game, like gravity. So we all understand that gravity is not something that based on opinion. It's something that always works. And when I talk about the rules of the game, I talk about concepts like gravity, but they can be also not in the physical reality, also in the spiritual, emotional way that we operate, the way thoughts are operating, the way emotions are operating, the way spiritual concepts like attachment or the ever changing of reality. And when we start to understand the rules of the game, we're basically starting to understand how reality operates, and understanding that if I'm resisting the way reality works, it's like a conflict. Yeah? And those conflicts are a point of pressure or a point of suffering. So if you think about gravity as example, if you try to defy gravity, you understand that you will fall and you will break a lot of things. Now, maybe in some esoteric place in the world, scientists have created a device that can levitate or something like this, but we all understand that if I hold this now here, if I leave it, it will fall down. You know, you're not surprised that it's happening. And when you're trying to define the concept of the um, ever-changing reality, the impermanent concept, you're basically saying that you are getting attached to how things are now, and those things will actually change at some point, and when they will change, you will suffer greatly. And those are our attachment wounds. So when we learn about the rules of the game, we learn to accept the way life is working. First, maybe in the mind, and then by practicing it, also in the body. So I'm not broken every time that something is changing in front of me. No, that can be one concept or one way to look at the rules of the game. What is the matrix? The matrix is a reference to basically a spiritual concept or a mental concept, you can say, that is the technology, the algorithms that exist somewhere inside me that create the perception that I have of my experience. Meaning that the matrix is the technology that creates the picture that you see in front of you. And we all have the same technology, and this technology is using all our past experience, the data that I have, in order to project my perception. Meaning that your matrix is using your past experience, and my matrix is using my past experience. But the way the matrix is using this experience and creating the picture is similar to all of us. So by understanding how the matrix is processing information and creating a realization of the world, that can help us to actually redefine our human experience. If I understand that the reason I'm angry now is because my past experience, maybe I will understand that I'm actually not angry at you. I'm just creating a perception that what you are saying is something negative, and it's very difficult for me to experience this challenge. And then my matrix is creating this emotion of anger, let's say. And then if I can understand this, I can find the source that creates this experience inside of me and reconfigure the source to have a different experience. So I always like to give this example that, I call my mom and then I didn't talk with her for a long time. And my mom is telling me, oh, it's about time you call me. Yeah. And, I can be very angry why she's criticizing me for not calling her for a long time. Or I can understand that She's actually telling me that she missed me and she loved me and she was worried about me. And this perception is the matrix is creating it. If I will go to the negative or to the positive. And so by understanding those things, I can actually redefine my experience. And understanding how the matrix is operating is, first of all, it's fascinating. It's mind blowing. It's like the best movie that you ever seen. And it can really change your life experience from depression to passion, from anger to unity and love, because all those experiences are really a matter of from which side you look at the things. You know, if someone is chasing me with a stick, yeah, maybe I need to defend myself. But maybe I can understand that he perceives the world now in a way that I am the enemy. And if I can understand this, maybe instead of fighting back, maybe I can stop him and help him to understand that I'm not his enemy, or maybe check what is in my experience and the way I'm behaving, making him believe that I am his enemy. And so we can actually connect with people on a different level. And when I'm seeing someone stressed next to me, I can understand where he is. So it helps me to understand me, help me to understand you, and help me to create a better connection. And I believe that if I want to have good relationships with myself, my kids, my family, I want to create good business, I need to understand how we create this perception of reality. So I think it's useful in business and personal life and everything that you do in the world. What are emotions? What are thoughts? What are memory? What is tension? Okay. What is presence? What is compassion? What is patient? Those are the questions that we ask when we're dealing with the question of what is the matrix. Yes? And then once we understand the answer to those questions, we understand the keys to unlock the potential in each one of those elements. So if I understand what is patient, I understand where is it, and I understand the key to unlock patient, and then I can improve the quality of patient in myself, I change my experience. I live in a different life. There is no more anger in me. So the access to release anger is maybe through the key to patient, and that's through understanding the matrix. That's how you navigate this journey. It's funny, the upside down pyramid topic, I didn't talk about it for a long time. It's interesting how the focus on the topic is changing with time. Uh, the upside down is a made up concept, okay? You don't need to take it too seriously. But it's a concept that allows us to understand how we experience something. And I want you to imagine an upside down pyramid, and it's based from bricks that are being laid on top of each other. And of course, every time that you move to the next floor, to a higher floor, there is more and more bricks. Yes? And when you get to level 15, there is already 1 million bricks at that level. And as a human, we have a direct access of experience to level 15, to the top level. This is all the thoughts, the emotion, the sensations, the experiences that we have. This is the 1 million bricks layer. So every time that you feel something, it's like one of the bricks is moving. Every time you think something, another brick is moving, another brick is moving, and so on. And the more bricks are moving, the less agitated is my experience. The more agitated, sorry. So the more bricks that are moving, the more agitated I am. So if in level 15 there is now 10 bricks are moving, it's like I'm itching there, and there is a thought there, and there is emotion here, and it's like, and if there is 1,000 of them moving, which I think that sometimes you know what I'm talking about, it's like, it's unbearable. It's like, it's too much of experience. And if they're moving really strong, it's really anxiousness and nervousness and anxiety and all of these things. So this is when there is a lot of bricks that are moving. Now, as you go down the pyramid, the bricks become more critical for your stability. So if you have a brick in level 10 that is shaking, it moves all the brick in the upper layers. Okay? Now, the more you go into the deeper layers of the pyramid, you touch more of the core essence of your human experience. Let's give an example. Let's say in level 8, just as an example, you have one brick that, let's call it perfectionism. Another brick that you have next to here is social anxiety. Another brick can be a fear of the unknown. Yes? And so when the perfectionist brick is moving at level 8, at level 15 you will experience, I should be a better father, I should be a better son, I have to do the work better, I'm not sitting properly. It's like the perfectionist is, and so you move around, and your reality is like everything is not good enough. Everything is not good enough. Everything that you look, it's not important if it's work, relationship, personal, everything is not good enough. And then you have the self-critic voice that criticizes you a lot, and so on. So this is because you have a brick that is called a perfectionist brick and is shaking. So instead of trying to fix all the things that you are not good enough, maybe you can go down to the perfectionist brick at level 8 and take care of this brick. Smooth it, maybe add some more cement to make it a little bit more solid, or you work on this brick. And once this brick is more solid, it doesn't move the entire pyramid, and then you don't have 1 million problems to solve, you have only one thing to focus on. And as you go down and down more to the core of the pyramid, you're touching more of the core aspects of the human experience. Some of the core aspects can be the most core bricks at level 1, 2, 3, which is what I call the core human skills: presence, patience, contentment, acceptance, and so on. And when you're touching those core things, you actually may be changing the entire human condition. So if at level 8 you have few different conditions like social anxiety and perfectionism and so on, maybe what you actually don't have is enough patience. So if at level 2 you have the brick of patience and it's broken and twisted and it's moving the entire pyramid, maybe if you go down to the patient and you work on patience, then slowly you will see that actually the perfectionism is not talking so much, or the social anxiety is not showing up so much. And so sometimes we are trying to find out what are the real core things that I can work on in order to affect in the way to improve my quality of life in the most significant way. And so the upside down pyramid is just to show us that we are based on very few core things, and life is actually not that complicated as we think, because I can guarantee that if you work on the first 2 layers, you will experience dramatic life changes in all aspects of life. Though that you think that you have 1 million problems, you actually maybe have 1 or 2 challenges, and if you focus on them on the right way, that can improve dramatically the quality of life. I will connect this topic to something that we talked before, which is 90% practice, 10% understanding and guidance. With the right understanding and guidance, we will find what's really to focus on, and then we have the practice to work on it. Yeah? That's why the practice is the actual work, because in the practice you will work on patience and presence and acceptance. But with the right guidance, you will see what you need to work on. So that's the balance between the guidance and the practice, if it makes sense. All the core human skills are actually muscles. And when you make the analogy to muscle, you immediately need to look at 2 features that you have when you talk about a muscle. A muscle has a certain capacity of execution. at every given moment based on the training that you had in your life. So if I didn't do any training and I want to run, now my muscles, they will take me 3 kilometers and I break down. But if I will do the right training, in few months I will be able to run 6 kilometers and 9 kilometers. So today 100% of my capacity is 3 kilometers. In 3 months after training, my 100% of my capacity is 6 kilometers. So we can see that at every given moment you have a certain level of training that you have, which reflect your performance. So my patient now is level 5. That's my performance in life. If I will do the right training, my patient level will go to level 7, 8, 9, 10 with time. And then my performance will be at level 10. Now, what is really interesting to understand it, that the way I experience life is based on my training. Meaning that life itself is a simple thing. You just live it. If you want to improve your quality of life, you go to the gym, you go to do the training, the mental gym, the spiritual gym, yeah? And you do the right training, and then your life become easy. So the idea is to do the training and then to live easy life. It's not that you need to work very hard in order to have patience at every given moment in your life. That's not the idea behind it. It's you do the training and then it's easy to have patience. Every action, thoughts, idea, emotion that we are experiencing requires energy. And inside of us, there is two engines that provides the energy for those things. One engine is fear, the other engine is love. When the engine of fear is working, it's create a lot of noise, a lot of pollution, and it's provide the energy to do things. And many things that we do are coming out of fear. When the engine of love is working, it's a very quiet engine, and it doesn't create any pollution, and it also gives us energy to do things. An example for this can be pleasing and generosity. Pleasing is coming from fear, and generosity is coming from love. In both cases, you will see me giving you something. In the first one, I'm doing it because I want something, I need something, I'm afraid of something, and this is the fear. And in the generosity way, I will give you the same thing, but I don't need anything in return. I'm not expecting you even to say thank you. I'm just doing it because I feel that that's something that I want to share with you. Now, when I'm acting out of fear, that can create a lot of repercussion in my system. It can create confusion, it can create stress, and sometimes I need to act out of fear. It's not that always fear is a mistake, but if I'm using the engine of fear too much, overusing it, I'm not aware that I'm using it, yeah, that can create a lot of stress, tension, tiredness, exhaustion, depression, anger, and all of those things, and that will drag me down to an unpleasant experience of life. So, by becoming aware to these two engines, that can redefine my experience even just by noticing it. So maybe now I want to give you this thing and it's coming out of fear, and as I'm doing it, I become aware to it, and then maybe it switches to the other engine, and I still give you the thing, but it's not coming out of fear, now it's coming out of generosity. So it's not the thing that I give you that matters, it's where it's coming from that it matters. And understanding this concept can allow us to look inside and see the way I'm acting. So there is a blind man walking in the street, and he walks with this stick. So he wants to like that he will not hit anything. So they walk with the stick too. And as they walk with the stick, they getting closer to you, and at some point he hits you with the stick. And the question is, will you be angry at him? And then of course you will not be angry at him because you can see that he's blind, and he was even trying to walk carefully, but he just hit you with the stick. Yeah? So you're not angry at him. And the question is, how many times a blind person is hitting you with a stick? And in that context, who is the blind person? Is it possible that the people that hurt you are just blind? And because they are not aware to things, they don't see things, they are blind. That's why they hit us every day. But it's becoming more interesting. As this blind person continue walking with the stick, from the other side of the street, another blind person comes. And at some point, they are getting close to each other and they hit each other with the stick. And they both start to shout and to be angry at each other. And why are they angry at each other? Is it because the first blind person does not see that the other one is blind, because he is blind, so he is angry at the other person? So maybe if in life someone hit me because he is blind, and I don't see that he is blind, I get angry at him, which basically I'm also blind because I don't see that he is blind. So we're getting angry at each other. And how many times in life two blind people are meeting each other and just hitting each other with the stick? I'm blind and you're blind and we are just fighting. And so the blind person analogy is to give us this understanding that maybe the other person that is acting in what we consider a bad way or negative way is just blind and he doesn't see. And more interestingly, if I'm getting too wrapped about it, too emotional about it, too angry about it, maybe I'm the blind person. And so this helps us to see that actually maybe most of the time it's just blind people hitting each other. So we encountering in life many times that blind people hit us. And at this point there is two things that come up. The first thing, he's not blind, he's doing it on purpose. That's maybe me being blind now. I'm just saying you can check. The second thing is that I'm not a victim of this life. If I see troubles coming to me, I need to find ways to protect myself and to make my path safe. If you're chasing me with a stick, I will move, I will protect myself, I will disarm you, I will find a way to defend myself. But on the same note, I know that you are blind because you are chasing me with a stick. And I know that my heart is pure and there is no reason for you to chase me with the stick. So I will protect myself, maybe, but I will also check maybe why are you chasing me with a stick? What can I do to help you not to be blind? And what can I do to stop making you being angry at me? I can explore what to do with this. But for sure, I'm not going to sit here and let you hit me. That's not for me peace and love. Peace and love is understanding that sometimes I need to protect myself, but I'm not doing it in believing that you are evil. I'm doing it because I believe that you are confused, because there is so much pollution in front of your eyes that you think that violence is your solution. But I will try to find a way to clear this pollution. When we connect the two engine story to the blind man story, why the blind is blind? When I'm acting out of fear, and the engine of fear is creating a lot of pollution, and pollution is disturbing my sight because I cannot see through the pollution, I become blind. So when I'm in fear, I'm actually becoming blind. And when I'm blind, I'm walking like this, and I will hit other people. So the fear is what makes us blind. And if we start to realize this and we start to become aware to our own fears and do the practices, maybe there will be less fear in my body, and then I will have less pollution, and then I will be less blind, and then I will see the blind man coming towards me. And instead of being stubborn and angry and afraid, I will just move to the side, allow the blind person to pass, not spend energy on fighting or being afraid, and move on in my life. So I will be able to see what's coming up and to handle it in more conscious way and more healthy way to my needs. And so by becoming aware to my fear, I start to be less afraid, less pollution, more aware, and having an easier life. The way I perceive information from the world, from the experience, is like looking at the world through a straw. At every given moment, I'm focused on only one place. So if now I'm focused on the sensation in my leg, I'm not in my memories. If now I go to my memory and I think what I eat for breakfast, I'm not in the memory of what I eat for dinner. If I'm in the memory of what I eat for dinner, I'm not in the sensation in the leg. So at every given moment, my focus is in one place. And whatever I experience is through this very narrow perspective. So at every given moment, I'm in one place. Sometimes it seems like I'm multitasking, but it's actually not so much multitasking, it's just I'm moving from one place to another very quickly. So I'm the noise, my leg, my this, and we're just jumping from one place to another. And most of our reality we experience through the lens of the straw, we call it. Now, my emotional system, my tension, my experience is based on where my focus is. So if now I'm focused in a very negative story that happened to me in the past, so I will experience also tension in the body and maybe anger or other feelings and so on and so on. And if I'm focused now in the sensation of the leg, I will not feel these feelings, yeah, because in the leg there is no feeling now in this place. So this is kind of the way I collect information and my experience is made up. Now, another way to look at this is you can try to imagine yourself in a big room, yeah? And inside this room there is a lot of objects, a lot of things. And this room is totally dark. You cannot see anything. And you're standing in the middle of the room and you have a flashlight in your hand. And wherever you point with this flashlight in the room, you will see very clearly because the flashlight focus is very strong and the light is very clear. But anywhere else in the room, you see nothing. So you can only see where the flashlight is pointing to. Yes? And if you're pointing now to the leg, so you feel the leg. If you're pointing now to the memory, you see the memory. If you're pointing wherever you point, that's what you're feeling and that's what you're experiencing. Now, if you now gonna have a small monkey next to you in the room, and you're gonna give this monkey the flashlight, and this monkey is very trained, he will do whatever you tell him to do. As long as you are present in the room and you are with the monkey and you tell the monkey what to do, as long as you do this, the monkey will do what you want. But if you're not there, the monkey will do whatever the monkey wants. He's a monkey, he's going to play. So if you tell now the monkey to point to the leg, you will point to the leg. If you tell the monkey to point to a memory, he will take the flashlight and point to the memory. But if you fall asleep in the middle of the room, the monkey will start to play with the flashlight. And the monkey sometimes to like to point to the flashlight to very dark corners in the room, to very negative places in the past, some boxes that you don't really want to open. And if the monkey is pointing to these boxes, there is negative experience in this box. So even though that you are asleep, you are still experiencing what the monkey is pointing to. And so sometimes our experience is like I am choosing where to point, and sometimes the monkey is just waving with the flashlight and I'm just experiencing whatever he is pointing to. And this is what we like to call the monkey mind. The monkey mind is this part of the mind that just running around with the flashlight out of no control, and we are experiencing all of this. And many times when we are in stress, anxiety, depression, all of these things, it's basically I'm disassociated from reality. I'm awake, I'm here, but something inside of me is asleep, and the monkey is just navigating the flashlight. That's what we call daydreams, anger, anxiety, stress, ADHD, and all of those things is basically when something inside of me is disconnected and there is a monkey just waving with the flashlight all over the room. And there is three modes of experience that we can have. One mode is when I tell the monkey what to do and I'm present. Another mode is when I'm disconnected and the monkey is doing whatever he wants. And the third mode is when I'm present and I'm allowing the monkey to do what he wants. That allows me to still be present with the experience and learn what is happening inside of my system. And this is actually the biggest part of self-development practices is around me being able to stay present while the monkey is doing whatever he's doing and allowing me to see the subconscious mind. And this allows me to improve the quality of my life. And the practice of observation is literally that element.